From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a tropical weather update.
Fred Gossage here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center on this Friday, October 10th, 2025, with the afternoon edition of your tropical weather update. We still have a couple systems that we're watching. First off, we have disorganized tropical storm Jerry in the western part of the Atlantic, just to the north of the Caribbean islands, still bringing some rain and squally weather to parts of the Leeward Islands and near Puerto Rico. That is moving northward and away from the islands. And earlier this morning, late last night, earlier this morning, we actually had subtropical Karen named on the board way north in the Atlantic. It's already in the process of weakening, not a threat to any landmass, and it will become non-tropical here over the next few hours. So we're not even going to focus on Karen. Just want to mention that it did get listed on the board up here in the far North Atlantic. We'll focus on Jerry for this tropical weather update. And here is a look at Jerry on satellite. You can see that the low-level circulation continues to be exposed and all the thunderstorms off to the east and the southeast of it because of strong wind shear, and it's been sheared here for the past several days. And because of that, Jerry no longer expected to become a hurricane as of the latest forecast updates that we've had issued from the overnight and into this morning. The late morning package here had maximum sustained winds down from 65 miles per hour that we had yesterday down to 50 because it's weakened some because of the shear that it's been interacting with and moving northwest at 16 miles per hour. It will continue to make that northwest and then northward turn as we head through the next 24 hours and then hooking around to the east as it merges in with the jet stream here to the east and southeast of Bermuda as we head to the start of next week, and then becoming a non-tropical system as it merges in with the jet stream. So no impacts to the United States. You've probably been hearing about the big coastal storm on the East Coast this weekend. That is a nor'easter type system, not a tropical system, and it has nothing to do with Jerry. We don't expect any direct impacts or even honestly indirect impacts on the United States. This circulation even staying off to the east of Bermuda. Elsewhere across the tropical Atlantic, not a whole lot going on. Frontal thunderstorm activity here in the central Atlantic. That's our coastal storm off the southeast coast extending into Florida. That's going to ride up the east coast going through the weekend. Kind of like a wintertime nor'easter system. It just doesn't have the cold air to work with, but similar impacts with gusty winds and rain and some coastal flooding and beach erosion that you would see from nor'easters. It has all the similar makings of one. It just doesn't have the colder air that you would see during the wintertime, but that is non-tropical. It has nothing to do with tropical formation. That's a frontal type weather system. As we look out into the eastern Atlantic and off the west coast of Africa, we do still have some wave activity out here, but wind shear is increasing with time, as it often does, as we head closer to the middle part of October. So the window of opportunity to get organized tropical development out here, it's not completely closed with the waves coming off of Africa and heading out into the Atlantic, but it's in the process of closing for the season. And then we start focusing closer to home in the Western Caribbean and the Gulf. Doesn't mean we're going to have any systems there, but just historically speaking, that's where we start focusing on from mid-October on through November before the season ends. We've already had Jerry and Karen this week, so the next name on the list is Lorenzo, then Melissa and Nestor. There's a possibility we have a couple more storms because we're still into the Atlantic hurricane season here for another about month and 2/3. Since we're near the 10th of October, we are roughly right around here, near what is usually a secondary peak in activity before things drop sharply the second half of October. But we still occasionally see systems well into November because the tropical season for the Atlantic Basin does not officially end until the end of November. So we're not completely done yet, and we'll be watching things carefully in the days and the weeks ahead. Chase Wilson will be here through the weekend with regularly scheduled tropical weather updates. The next one will be tomorrow afternoon, Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time. You can watch that right here on the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.